This is my Flipbook line challenge number 2, where I see how much life I can put into animating a simple line. And I want you guys to try it yourselves and let me know how it goes. If you haven't seen my first line challenge video yet, I'll put a link to it down below. So I'm going to make 2 flipbooks in this video, and I don't know exactly what the animation is going to be yet. I think first I'll start with having this line kind of curl up and then build up some tension and then shoot around the page, and then we'll go from there. One principle I love thinking about is anticipation. Anticipation is like the wind-up before you throw a ball. So this is a very simple use of that principle. The line curls up, holds that pose for several frames, and then when it shoots off, then I want to go big and fast with the increments so you really feel the energy and speed of the action. I'm adding a few trailing dots behind some of these lines just to give the feeling of a blur trailing behind. And it's just bouncing around the page as if the edges of the page are walls that it's bouncing off. All right, what to do from here? Let's try folding this line up into a shape. All right, well, I'm going to call this first one finished, and here's what it looks like. The thing I love about doing something simple like working with a line is it just makes it easier to get started. It's less intimidating. You don't have to really be able to draw very well. You don't have to have a great idea. You can just kind of play around with movement and timing and just kind of see where it goes. No pressure. Okay, flipbook number 2. For this animation, I want to treat the line more like a character with some physics and weight. So first I'm going to have the line kind of fling itself to the right. One thing you'll find when you're animating a movement and you want it to feel realistic, you really want to check your animation often as you go. You might want to check your animation like after every new page. Like right here, this last drawing just doesn't feel right, so I'll just toss it out and try it again. And that's better. You generally really want to make sure that each new drawing feels correct before moving on to the next one. And sometimes you have to try it again and again and again until it finally feels right. Sometimes it's a really subtle difference, but when it's right, you can just feel it. And of course, it helps to use a pencil to sketch it first so you don't have to waste too much paper. Then you go back and ink over it. Okay, what I'm thinking now is I want to have this little guy do a flip in the air. So he needs a little anticipation before the flip. You know, sometimes as you're animating, you're going along and you stop and you realize that your entire last 8 or 10 frames just aren't feeling right, and you can either live with it, or if it bothers you enough, you just toss out that whole section and try it again. Okay, for this last part, what I want to do is have the line do one of those moves like when you're laying on your back and you fling yourself up into the air and land on your feet. Yeah, that. Okay, now that landing, it's too soft. There's no impact. It needs some impact. So again, I'm going to cut back a few pages and redo it with a more impactful landing. And you can tell already that's going to be better. Okay, I'm going to call that good on these line challenge flipbooks. Let's take a look at them both. All right, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. And I want you guys to try this yourself, see what kind of animation you can do just using a simple line, and I'd love to see what you come up with. And don't forget, there are just a few days left to get the Grumpy Cloud plushie. I'll put the link down below. Stay creative, and I'll see you in the next video.